Hey, good morning. This routine is for energy building. We'll get started. I want to say up front that you can do this seated or standing. So I'm going to show it standing so we're not up and down. It's a whole energy routine that you could do on a chair. I'll have a chair handy just to show some modifications. So it's dry. It rained last night. Okay, so let's just start with open arms to the sky. Breathing in and breathing out. Open arms to the sky and back down to the earth. It's really about getting some space between the hip and the rib. So if you take your fingers right at the waist, your waist is in between that space, your hip, the top of the iliac crest, and your rib, that floating rib or the lower rib, and then it comes up right here. So that space is usually no more than an inch for most people. Maybe if you're taller, you're more millimeters or maybe a centimeter. And if you're shorter, it might just be a little less. That's going to determine how much movement you have in the side flexion range. So if you've got a shorter space there, you might find bone on bone as you move to one side and then to the other. The way to alleviate that is to really get some axial extension. So we're planting the feet into the earth, taking a big deep breath, and then lifting the spine and lifting the ribs high above the hip. When I say high, I mean millimeters. Okay, so I'm going from like maybe an inch to an inch and a 16th. Okay, so we do have that ability to extend upward. Then also I'm tucking the tailbone. I'm not squeezing the glutes, but I am pulling up through the front side, and that's tipping the pelvis into a more neutral position versus it being relaxed or my gut hanging out. So this would be not good. You can see my shoulders are forward from my hip. If I do a plumb line, they're forward from my hip. So I want the thighs back, yes, but I also want to pull up through the belly. That returns me upright. Now my shoulders are in line with my hip. See that slight difference without pinching the glutes, and I'm not thrusting the hips forward with my shoulders back. So make sure you're in a stance that is aligned, shoulder over hip, hip over knee, knee over ankle. If you're unsure about that, use a mirror to help support that alignment. That's going to be key in every aspect of your yoga and every aspect of your day. If you're used to like thrusting the hips forward and sinking the low back, you'll know because you'll have low back issues. And same is true for here. You're going to have knee issues, ankle joint problems, and they might be very subtle, but it's your body's cueing you to realign or reassess how you're standing, how you're sitting, how you're carrying yourself and the muscles that you're working. Okay, wow, that was a tangent. Let's start here again. And then lift through the ribs. So we're creating that little bit of space, and then bring the arms up overhead, and even more so, we're lifting the rib all the way around above the hip bone, not just in the front. So we're not just expanding here, we're expanding through the back body as well. And then we're keeping that expansion as you bring the arms back down. That's earth and sky breath. So big breath in. And even if you're seated, you're getting that axial extension or that spinal movement towards the sky. We call that axial extension. Still pulling in through the low belly. Exhale back down. And I'm taking a pretty good stance here. A wide open stance. So I've got more power in my foundation. It's going to move the hips in a circle. This might require a little bit wider stance. That's more comfortable. Just go 3 in one direction and then reverse it. In the opposite direction. This whole routine will be short and quick, not short, but 30 minutes, 40 minutes, just to get into our energy body. Shake that out, bend the knees a little bit, and then take the hips side to side. Now we've got the space here in hip and rib. Just gonna see if we can get some mobility through the hip and forward and back and forward and back, and that's definitely going to take some tucking of the tailbone and some releasing, tucking and releasing, and then take it in a circle, side, back, side, forward, side, back, side, and maybe a little bit of a hula circle, so it's a little faster. Let's go the opposite direction, forward, side, back, side, and a little hula. So I can feel my spine here going, it's like really waking up. It feels so much better. And then come back to that straight leg stance, feet maybe a little bit narrower, arms above the head, clasp the wrist of one hand, and then take it in the opposite direction. So I'm getting a nice smooth C shape, not an L shape with the elbow, the arm extended. So find a way to extend the arm, even if you're seated, that arm is extended. So if you're in a chair, you're this way. Okay, up and over, and we'll bring it back to center. So we're taking 3 to 5 breaths in one direction and then over to the other. And I mentioned if you have a shorter distance here, that you might compress, and that's bone on bone, sooner than someone who has more space there. The way to alleviate that is to really lift, get the space, and then keep that space by shifting the hips and then finding that nice curve all the way up through the fingertips. Let's come back to center and you try that one more time. Inhale, axial extension, exhale, up and over, and then float the head between the biceps. Inhale back to center. Make sure your head is not like impeded. And for some friends, the arms or biceps to the ear will be a little more movement, require more movement than you have in the shoulder. You just bring the arms forward a little bit. Still keep the head moving freely. Okay, let's come back down. Shoulder roll, forward, up, back, and down. Inhale and exhale. And we're going to just tap the cheeks. This is from Donna Eden's energy tapping. And then we'll go to the clavicle. Breath in, breath out. The thymus. We'll tap right here in the center, below the Adam's apple, right on the top of the sternum. And then tap right here in. Breathe it out. It's on the side of the rib cage. This meridian opens us up to new experiences. Take it out, and then we'll do a little cross crawl. So I'm marching in place, lifting the right knee and bringing the left arm forward, and then switching. Big arms in opposition to each other. Inhale, exhale. You can do this in a chair. If you're seated, it's just a tap, 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 tap in the chair. Okay, then we'll come back to center. And you take the right hand behind the left shoulder and then pull it forward diagonally across the chest and down. And do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, exhale, exhale times 3, each side, and not to swipe the mic. So we've done a classical, something, and then we have what's called a crossing of the leg on a chair. And if you're against a wall, that works as well. So it's right ankle across the left, And then left hand to right ankle. Go across, and then across again. And then we cross at the wrist and hold the base of the foot with your right hand to right foot. Inhale, release the leg. Exhale, lower. If you're against the wall, you're just taking your butt against the wall. So there's a wall behind me. I thought would be on the wall. And position a little bit. And or you can freestand it. A little bit more intense on the balance when you freestand. Take that out. We'll go to the second side. So it's left ankle, right thigh. Grab a hold, right hand, left ankle, and then cross the wrist and hold the base of the foot. Inhale, raise. Exhale, lower. And you're doing this either seated, standing, or against the wall. And better steady your balance on this foot than I do on the other one. Just the most fun makes that happen easier on one foot than the other. And then shake that out. Inhale, exhale, and bring the hand into this ball here. So you're connecting 10 fingers together. And then you'll bring the thumbs to the third eye here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Standing or seated. Either one. And we'll bring the fingers right to the center of the forehead. And just pull. Open. The forehead pull. To the middle. We'll open. We'll just do 3 times. Taking it all the way to the temple. We'll start that pull from the part line of the straight, straight part line. Crown of the head, pull down towards the ear, crown of the head, pull down. I guess it's not the crown yet. We're getting there. You're moving in that direction all the way down to the occipital ridge. When you get here, past the back side of the skull and then circle the occipital ridge. This is where the base of the skull meets the neck. And there's some tender spots here. If you go from the base of the ear in towards the spine and then circle back out with the thumb, you'll feel a really nice release, especially if you have headaches that stem from tightness in the neck. And I really feel that after a lifting session, I got a lot of tightness in the neck. Release that all the way up. Bring your arms back down into the navel. We'll make a triangular shape here. We're going to pull it up, flip it to pancake hands at the heart, and then we'll press it out. Inhale, starting here, flip, and press out. Let's call this everything up of the energy. So your energy stays in, other energy stays out. Up. And shake the whole body. Place the middle finger in the navel, pointer finger in the navel, middle finger out on the third eye, forehead, inhale, up. You seal it all in, exhale, and then one more time. And exhale. Take a square breath, inhale for 4 counts. For 4. Exhale for 4. 3, 2, 1. And then hold back out. Again, inhale for 4. 4. Exhale. Hold. Slow it down. In for 4. In for 4. Out for 4. Possibly in a seat. If this does make you may make you a little bit dizzy. Take a breath. You're in a chair. You're going to turn so that one leg is forward, one leg is back. So my forward leg is back and the left leg forward, back is back. And I'm turning to the left. So you're going to just bend and straighten the back leg. So in standing position, we're going to do the same, but let's step back. Arms overhead, and instead of bending down and up, we're going to pull that knee in and then stretch it right back out. Exhale. Inhale. Arms up. Exhale. Pull through. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe up. And 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Palms to the side. Heel to the towards the floor. Really open up. Really flexor. Release the arms forward. Then we'll take the opposite leg back. So if you're in the chair, you're just going to switch. Go back and up. In harm's way. Bring the arms overhead. Inhale. Exhale. Slow. Mudra mudra. With the hands. Inhale. From up in the air. Exhale. Catch the ball at your side. Inhale. And exhale. One more slow. And if you'd like, you can speed it up with me. Or you can take it slow again. 9 times here. So 6 more. 4. 6. Pull back. And press up to the sky. To the sky. Bicep to the ears again. Full stretching. Pull the ribs back, not forward. I'll put your knee on the back. And then I'm going to step forward. And shake it out. Take a wide stance. Turning your toes out. And then bring the arms to the side. Up and over. Inhale back to center. And exhale. And now we've got those wide stance. If you're seated, you just take a wide stance. And you go side to side. The same thing. Both hands to the knees. Drop the shoulder in. Breathe in. Breathe out. So same thing. If you're in a chair, you're just seated in the chair. You're doing the same thing here. You want that inner thigh getting a good stretch. Just also stretches the QL here and through the waist. Just waking up the body for energy, energizing. Now we're going to stay in this stance. Arms coming out, and we'll just lift one heel and lower. Inhale and exhale. Exhale, lower. Both heels and exhale, lower. Heels lift. Exhale, lower. Find my balance. And both heels lift. Bring it up into a high V. And exhale, lower the heels. And bring your arms up into our goddess pose. Inhale. All the way up. Woo, from the balance. Exhale. Heels and arms come out. Inhale. Knees tight to the thighs and exhale. Move back down. Inhale. Hold for a second. Exhale, heels down. One last time. Inhale. For balance. Breathe. And exhale. Then we'll take the arm, one arm, big circle around, and then we're going to step that way back. Circles and step the left back. Or if you're mirroring me, you do your opposite. Big circle. If you're seated in a chair, you're just going to cross. You're just going to tap one leg in front instead of behind. You can still do the arm circles. And we're going to hold this one side, leg behind, up and over. So we're getting that full side leg stretched, and then back in. Big loop-de-loop. You're standing in the middle, over to the other side. Inhale and over. Exhale. Deep the root. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Deep. Pause. Note that my back foot is in a blade. I'm not stickling, and my heel is on the ground. So there's a little coordinated effort here. You've got full support from your foundation as you make that disconnect. To center, drop the arms. That's a lot of arm work for sure. And we'll just take a nice wide stance. Once again, this time the toe, yeah, actually, let's keep the toes turned out. Toes turned out. And we'll take a bend into the right knee. Toes lifting up on the left side. So we're getting that charge in the inside again, back center. Inhale, center. Let's come back over to the right. Turn it into a long lunge. Pop the hips up. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, lower. On a chair, I would do this against the wall. So, be a little bit higher. And bring it on the chair. So bending, and then taking a bit back and straightening. So back there. And behind it. Now, low lunge. Plant the left hand right on the side. Same thing. If you're on the chair, big circle. Right on. The chair or the wall, plant the hands, step back. We'll come into a high push-up. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, low flow up. Exhale, back and forth. Facing back. Right leg to the sky. Bend the knee, open through the hip. Wow. Let my hamstring so much. Let's step through. Or actually pull the knee through. And you give your hip a nice wide berth. If you're standing, do this on the wall behind you, and you're just moving it. Okay? There's ways to do this without being on your hands. Step the right leg forward, spin it back into that low lunge, and then we'll take it to the other side. Left side, right side, center side, no side at all. Turn all 10 toes forward. Inhale here. Flat back, exhale, fold in. And just notice how it feels between your right and your left. And as you have a hand on the floor, or maybe they're on a block, to nod the head yes. And shake the head no. Doing my hair, knocking the floor up. So I take a little bit side to side. Walk up, left knee. And then you're going to take it up and over again. If you're in the chair, maybe in that chair or wall yoga, bring your hands to the base of your chair. And then walk straight with the leg. You might not be as wide. You can be placed on the chair. And you're doing that bending straight with the leg. So, the chair, then you straighten. Far away, let's take the gist of it. And then pause here, bend knee, right hand to the floor, over to the left and just in on it. And then take up yoga, and plant hands all the way back. Chaturanga if you like. Be on the wall. It's the wall push-up. And cooling of the heart, back to downward facing dog. Big hip circle. So if you're on the wall, you're standing and you're just taking the hip all the way to circle. You do a figure 8 if you're in a downward facing dog.
And step the right leg. Bring back into the floor. Walking hands into intermediate posture. Go back to it. Wide angle into the legs. If you're on the wall, again, you're on the wall. So hands are facing the wall, the hands on the wall. Walk down the wall or have hands on the box. Inhale. Exhale, folding the elbows to the floor. Dangling. Reaching the head to the earth. Keeping the hips in like the heel. And basically moving a little bit of the weight more quickly above. Exhale, roll the side. Same thing, bend the right knee. Drop the hand down. Walk up. Elbow to the thigh. And up and over. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Turn the warrior two. Reversing side angle. Reversing. Straighten the front leg. We'll just do standing postures here. Triangle with your chair or hand to the shin or block. All the way back up, all 10 toes to the front, hands to the behind, base of the spine or on the wall, with up through the sternum, exhale, fall over. And we'll cross the shoulders here. And we're dropping the shoulders towards the neck and then away from and towards the hip. Neck, towards the hip, just a little bit further. And really grip the floor with your feet so you're not in hyperextension. Your hamstrings aren't pulling, they're actually pushing. Your feet into the floor and they're firing up. And so you don't want to stretch too far, too fast, and the hamstrings come back to center here. Spin the left heel. So it's now facing at a 90-degree angle to the back heel. And bring the right arm up and over down to the side. Plank on the other side. Inhale. Reverse it. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, let's put down if you like. Going a little bit further. Hold 3. Hold 2. Hold 1. Lift all the way back up to standing. Straighten the front leg into a triangle pose. Again, if you've got a chair, hand on the chair, right arm goes up and you're supported in your triangle pose. You don't also do this against the wall, and give it some pressure. So you really open up the hip all the way to length down your right side. Inhale all the way back up. Cross the hands behind the base of the spine. Inhale. Open through the chest. Exhale. Headstand, if that's in your repertoire, you bring the hands to the earth. And please don't try this at home. If you're not familiar with how your neck is studied, but if you like, this is a stage 2 headstand, and the hands are positioned in more of a tripod position. So to come out, you pull weight on the hands in the head. Put that into back out. And just put your into the air. You start by lifting your head, or you're just staying right here and fall. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, lift, and exhale, turn the toes out. And we'll come into a deeper squat. So Malasana. One of the things that I think our Asian counterparts on the other side of the globe have that we don't is they squat a lot, and so the dexterity in the thighs, strength that they possess there, and the agility is a lot stronger than what we have here in the United States. Also, just because culturally we don't we use chairs more often than they do. So something that really helps in your longevity are these malasana squats. We're doing a half malasana, so just taking it trying side. And we'll see a whole malasana. Notice I'm keeping my heel on the ground, and when I bend, my knees come back, so the vertical alignment in the shin is straight up. I'm not going horizontal and trying to push into the knee. Because I often see this happening. I'm trying to go down and then I'm pushing into the knee. And I think there's some people who are strong enough to do that and their knee isn't bothered by it, but for the majority of us, that's my body. And probably not helpful. So let's bring the feet in. Place a block behind you here. I don't actually have one, but let's take the block. And place it right behind me, and then when I take a seat, now I'm going to sit right on top of that block. Okay, bring the elbows to the knees and push the knees wide, palms together, or I'm just simply dropping the hips towards the floor. So I've got a little gap between my hip and the floor. Give it a little shift side to side. Now that's stretching my low back, inner groin, and I'm keeping a sense of pressure through all four corners of the feet here. I'm not sinking into the knee. I'm going to plant the hands and shift forward and come to balance, posture. And show that to you from the side, and you can choose to bring the feet on or off the floor. You're still on the squat, and even bringing the knees up to the tricep is a pretty big leap of faith for many people, and the agility here and the strength, definitely don't underestimate that. And when you move forward, I'm keeping the toe now on the earth, so the weight is distributed evenly between the crown of the head and the feet become weightless when I lift the belly. Weightless, and that's when my feet actually no longer need the rudder. Back to sedentary movement. And yes. Walk into Malasana. The arms are in front of the knee. I'm just going to take one hand and wrap it around the opposite heel and then fold it. Line the left arm. Again, you can do this all seated on the block. So take the right arm now out to the side. My tricep is in front of the knees. Wide block. I'm wrapping it around 55 or straight out here, and then we'll open the left arm. Nice, so such a subtle twist, but your low back is going to love you, even if you're halfway in or out of this posture. So make the posture fit to you today, and then work towards by tomorrow. Make it. Then we'll come to seated. Shake the legs out. Oh, that was awesome. If that's all you do today to wake up the body, you've done a generous thing for your body. Bring the right foot to the inner thigh of the left. Inhale, I'm squaring the shoulders, chest out over the left knee, and turn slowly towards the shin. Down your Shirshasana, knee pose. Opposite hand wrapping around the heel. And if you're in the chair, or if you're doing a chair yoga, crossing your right ankle over the left thigh, and then you're bending at the hip and bowing forward and that's towards the thigh. So you feel that deeper stretch in your right hip. Standing, step your right leg over the left. Inhale, right, easy. Rest. Breathe in, breathe out. July, so I'm recording this in July. So we have this beautiful morning. Fresh, sweet rain, fresh rain, but it's so warm out here. So warm out there. Out of that, and release to the second side. Get a nice white L shape. And off towards the right leg, and bowing in. With some friends, it's not, the goal is not to bring the head down. The goal is to do something in the hip. So if you reach the goal and you're here, perfect. Let's stay right here. Don't bother to go further when this is the spot that feels the best to you. You are on your own adventure, and of course, adventure is something different to all people. Some people like the roller coasters, some people like the teacup. So one's not better than the other. I go on like a teacup. All the way back up, left foot for the right. Maybe now find that axial extension, that place where we're really reaching up to the sky. And notice when I rotate, I actually very subtly pull that left hip back in the direction that I'm twisting. So when I'm grounded through the sit bones, they're actually offset from each other. So I take that twisting action all the way down to the sit. Please, let's go all the way onto your back. Take a few moments to generously release. And then take it from side to side. Make it and circle the knees. Open up that really side. Fresh air that's just been cleansed by the rain. No, the dirt. No, the breeze, the bright breeze that's coming. Now, it's the next exhale. Lift. Place a block under the hips. Right at the sternum. And then the feet to the sky. There's the supported shoulders down. Or forward shoulders down. And make sure you're not on the cervical spine when you're in the shoulder stand. I'm very clear that there's no part of my spine that's touching the earth right now. Okay, if there is, for you, then bring your hips back down to the block, or whatever you've got here that's elevating the hips, and ride the feet to the sky. You're getting the same benefit, and then you're not putting pressure on the cervical spine. It's not a great place. You put weight bearing, you put the pressure in the back of the shoulder. So I'm broadening across the heart, lifting the palms, the biceps to the sky. I'm just taking a slow breath in, slow breath out. Elevated hip, and I'm getting the same benefit. It's amazing. If you are in that full shoulders down and let space for you. And then take the legs overhead and get a nice deeper stretch and fall off of it. And that would be a fall pose, so the feet are coming over the head, maybe one, maybe both, maybe alternating. And then your breath feet to the sky. And you can walk down everybody together. And you're on the block, a blanket, on your knees, with the feet all the way to the earth. Raise the hips and your knees, whatever is under the hip. And lower the hip, drop the knees over to the right. Easy release for the low back, center, roll to the left, head to the right. And again, repeat that movement to the right, head to the left, and center, head to the right, and knee to the left. And take a little Savasana, 5 minutes here. And then walk into the very comfortable 40-minute routine. You can take any portion of that little section where you're standing, and then out of special Savasana, you can take the lower part where we're stretching, you just do a 10-minute stretch, or even that first part where we did feet and energy routine. Each of those are like 10 or 15-minute segments. The segment is routine, and it's something that works with your lifestyle and works with the time on time for you. I promise. If you're making the time and effort, even 10 minutes a day, it's going to make a difference. If you're just saying, "Oh, I don't have an hour, so therefore I give nothing," not going to make a difference. You need to expand your movement and energy routine to an everyday commitment. Like every day, 5 days a week, 7 days a week, even 10 minutes, 10 or 20 minutes, that's it. Everybody has that. Okay, no, you do, because we can get lost in Facebook for that long, or lost in a TV show for that long. Get lost in your own energy center. And calm the body down. Just for pose here. 3 to 5 minutes. And then subtle shift from supporting one's own body to being supported. And then feeling the body, energy, flow. So what's it feel to be at the end of the practice, just to notice without judgment or trying to change anything, but noticing. That's when you're in that rhythm, raise the belly, expansion, and on the exhale, just letting that go through the body, like releasing it through the body, I guess. Yeah, like to feel like the energy is moving to the extremities, and you'll roll to the side, sideline position, all of your side, seated position.
Beautiful, energetic day.